Couldn't hear you. I had the active noise canceling on. This little plastic boomerang I had strapped to my head is the SuperEQ S1. These were sent out to me because if you have a YouTube channel, you get sent a bunch of free stuff, and then your closet starts overflowing with stuff. But in proper AK-40 Kevin and gamer heaven fashion, we're gonna be bluntly honest about these bad boys. All right, so we got the SuperEQ S1s over here. This is a very, very tiny box, as you can see here. So I'm assuming these are on the ear, not over the ear, and they probably have very, very tiny drivers, but they do have hybrid active noise canceling. Now, I generally don't like hybrid cars, and I certainly don't like hybrid animals. They scare me. But hybrid noise canceling, I might make an exception for. Let's go ahead and break into this box. Well, not break in. Obviously, I don't want to do any time behind bars getting acquainted with my cellmate, but all right. So pulling out this sack or satchel, I believe Indiana Jones called his a satchel. This feels really good. I expected some kind of cheap mesh bag. This is like some kind of a, it's hard to describe. Obviously, it feels like leather to the fingertip, but soft, and generally leather's a little bit more rigid. But anyway, I really do like the black with the red tabs. I think that looks really nice. You have a couple of little pleasure beads here at the end. Then you have your headphones in there. We're gonna set that aside for now. All right, you have a little QR code here that you can scan to activate your 2-year warranty. That is nice. 2 years is a pretty good chunk of time. And you also get a 40% off coupon for your next purchase through Amazon US, UK, Japan, or DE. Is that Deutsch? You have your little instruction pamphlet right here. It does have a plethora of languages, one of which is, of course, English, which is my native tongue, ladies. No color pictures or anything like that, but there are black and white photos that are rather informative that do walk you through the process of using active noise canceling and whatnot. Not a bad instruction manual. I'm a bit of a connoisseur snob when it comes to instruction manuals, so obviously this parchment isn't the best. The calligraphy on here isn't the greatest, and the black ink obviously isn't number 117, but pretty decent stuff here. Then you have a warnings and caution brochure, basically just warning you not to use this thing as a frisbee, playing fetch with your dog, not to try and Hitman 3 anybody, you know, choke them out with the headphones or anything like that. Then you have a FAQ, or frequently asked questions quick guide. All right, that's how I generally like to read, but we're gonna flip her on its ear here. Yep. Wired mode doesn't work when the battery has run out. Active noise canceling will not work if the battery is run out. Basically, if you don't know by now that an electronic device doesn't work when the batteries have been depleted, you might have bigger issues than this instruction pamphlet. All right, so in this little dime bag here, what do we got? Take a look at the goods, make sure it's pure and uncut. All right, so you have some kind of a probe device, which has 2 male 3.5mm jacks and then a 3.5mm female slot on the side there. You have a very, very, very short, ladies, very petite, like me, micro USB cable here, I'm assuming for charging and pairing, and then you also have a pretty short 3.5mm headphone jack as well, so you're probably going to rock these bad boys wirelessly, but if you do decide to go tethered or wired, that's short. That's shorter than my wingspan. That's probably about a 3-footer. Less than ideal. If you are going to be wired, you probably want a little bit more slack in this bad boy, so you might just want to use your own male-to-male 3.5mm jack. I'll have one linked in the description below, a little bit longer. All right, so now pulling it out of this nice little satchel. So these give me a Beats vibe, they really do. Not just with the way they look, but also the way they feel. A lot of these plastics seem very, very similar to me in comparison to Apple Beats, or Beats by Dre before they were acquired by Apple, which is not a bad thing. Honestly, to me, these look and feel virtually identical to the Beats Solos. You have a flat matte finish on the sides here with a little bit of aluminum trim. You do have a gloss or piano black logo that says Be Free right there, and another one over there that says Be Young. Unfortunately, I can be free, but I can't be young anymore, guys. It does have the make and model right here, SuperEQ S1. These do fold for storage, which I think is really nice. Okay, cool. As for the ratcheting strap here for size adjustment, it is plastic on the inside, aluminum on the outside, so that is a relatively durable design. These do feel pretty durable, not gonna lie. You have 0 controls on the left ear cup, but you do have a cutout or a port, which is for one of your speakers for active noise canceling, another matching brethren over here on the right-hand side, and you do have your controls, including a microphone, microphone over here. You have a micro USB port for charging. You have a 3.5mm headphone jack for wired mode, a power button, a status LED light, up and down for volume, and then also, I'm assuming a function button, so pause, play, hold down for next track, stuff like that. The headband padding is a pretty soft, supple rubber material. It's not the most squishy thing in the world, doesn't feel like some memory foam that you're going to want to sleep on or anything like that, but it does feel pretty good. As for the ear cups, they do feel very good. Again, a lot of these materials on here feel very, very similar, for better or worse, to like the Beats Solos, which a lot of people love those headphones. So, and these are also quite a bit cheaper. The inside of the ear cups is also labeled with a L, not for loser, but for left, and an R, not for renegade, but for right. Actually pretty doggone good. So they're not on the ear, these are actually over the ear. They are completely over my earlobes, which is good because if they're using ANC or active noise canceling, you definitely don't want on the ear. You want over the ear so you get a nice seal over your ear canal and you can block out the outside world. Maybe your wife's trying to ask you to take out the trash, your kids are asking you to help them with their homework or something stupid like that. You can just tune them right out, which is great. So if you go out of range with your cell phone or whatever Bluetooth device you are connected to, it will automatically disconnect from your device. And then also after about 10 minutes of inactivity from these bad boys, they will shut off to save battery. So that is very nice. The $550 Apple AirPod Maxes, which by the way, I don't know why they call them AirPod Maxes. They're over-the-ear headphones. They're not pods. But anyway, those do not have an auto-off feature. So it's basically just sucking battery life until you put them in their stupid little carrying case, which is weird. Let's get these bad boys paired and see what they sound like, right? Well, not see what they sound like. Let's hear what they sound like. Let's taste what they sound like. Alrighty, boys, so the SuperEQ S1s. First of all, we'll get the pros out of the way because there's more of those than there is cons, luckily. So these retail for $60, and I have to say, for that price point, the build quality and the materials used, yeah, you ain't gonna lose. The materials used feel really good. They genuinely do. The comfort's good. And I think cosmetically the styling's really good, especially in this black and red trim. They also have a white and red, which looks pretty good. However, that one retails for $70, not $60 if you are buying these through Amazon and not the actual website. Now, I will say I'm not a huge fan of the white logo here. They should either black that out or lose that completely. And then also the little corny motivational quotes on each side, you know, telling you to be young and be free. Go ahead and ditch those in your next version or iteration of this headset, please, for the love of Jesus. But other than that, it looks really, really good. Next up, the noise canceling. I didn't really know what to expect for two reasons. One, it's a $60 over-the-ear headset, and two, the drivers are relatively small at 40 millimeters. However, as soon as I turned on active noise canceling, I was basically engulfed in the silence, which is exactly what ANC is supposed to do. It cut out the fans from my PC, it cut out the my HVAC system, my air conditioning, it cut out basically any noise. There is also a pass-through mode or an ambient sound mode, which is basically, you know, uses the microphone as a pass-through. So instead of having to take your headphones off, you can have a conversation with somebody and then turn noise canceling back on. So the noise canceling works incredibly good. Next up, connectivity is very good as it is using Bluetooth 5.0, so you have pretty good range from your device. I walked all the way to the other side of my house. I do not live in a mansion, but it is 1,500 square feet, and I left the my cell phone in the gamer heaven in here, went to the restroom to take a tinkle, take a potty, and these things were still thumping away, so that's awesome. It also has about 45 to 50 hours of playtime, which is pretty damn good. I also did get a phone call and was able to quickly hit the button on the side to pick it up. I asked the person on the other end how I sounded. They said virtually like I was on my phone, so hey, that's good. As for the controls on the side, they did perfectly integrate with my iPhone 12. I was able to skip to the next track, go to previous track, pause, activate my voice assistant, pick up phone calls, so that all works as it should. Now, as for the actual sound quality, because that is, you know, in essence, the most important part of any headphones, I would say the three most important factors when picking a headset for gaming or just headphones for out and about in town for general media use would be comfort. How do they feel in your head for long listening sessions? 2 would be the sound quality, and 3 would be the long-term durability. And then also the warranty, customer support, etc. So 2-year warranty on these, and the build quality actually feels pretty good, so they should last in the long term. Sound quality, also pretty good. A little bit flat in the mids. The mids were a little bit muddy, and the treble wasn't really screaming either. Bass was pretty good, better than I expected for 40 millimeter drivers and a $60 headset. The bass was actually very, very full, very rich. But I will say, I wish that these got louder by a fair margin. If they could get about 25 to 30% louder, that would be great, as I had these maxed out the entire time that I was using them. but I didn't feel like I was completely satisfied volume-wise. Now, sound profile is pretty good. I do wish the mids were kind of richened up a little bit. Granted, I was using a flat equalizer on board my phone on purpose, so I could get an idea of what these bad boys, these drivers sound like out of the box without any kind of artificial sound profiles pumped in with an equalizer or anything like that. And they sounded pretty good, but the mids were a little bit muddy, a little bit flat, but the bass is rich. Treble and mids were a little bit lacking, but they sounded good overall. But I just wish they got a little bit louder. But again, there's only so much sound you can squeeze out of a $60 pair of headphones with 40mm drivers. And by no means do these sound bad. In fact, for the price point, I'm trying to think off top of headphones that I have tested in this similar price point that give similar sound profile. Maybe some of the Skullcandy over the ears come to mind. Yeah, but honestly, these are fantastic for the price. And the noise canceling, that's the big deal breaker there. That's the straw that broke the camel's cock right there, or back, I should say, is the fact that those Skullcandies that I mentioned, and those are the only like $60 over the ear headphones I can think of that sounded this good and were this comfortable. If you want the ANC version, that's like a $30 to $40 option. So then you're around the $90 to $100 price point. So basically, these are awesome. They bang for buck wise. These are fantastic. SuperEQ, thanks for sending these bad boys out. I enjoyed testing them and giving my honest thoughts. Again, the only tips or pointers I would say for the next version or iteration of this headset would be to go ahead and black out that white logo there. I mean, that's not a huge deal. I mean, if this really bothered you significantly, you could just take a Sharpie or something and just black out the letters. In fact, I might do that because I like kind of a stealth blacked out look. And then if they could get just a skosh louder, that would be awesome. But overall, these are awesome. These are linked in the description below if you want to check these bad boys out on Amazon. Drop in the comment section below what headphones you guys have been rocking as your daily drivers and how they've worked out for you. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more people, so this honest product review will reach and assist them as well to making a decision if these bad boys are worth a pickup or they should just pass. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover a lot of news in the gaming community and industry, as well as tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing. See you guys in the next one, which will be tomorrow because I upload daily. Peace.